Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Sly here. I'm back with another video. So, I think by the time this video goes up, my free 100 summon should have gone up already. If not, it'll be up soon. Like I said, I was out over the past weekend with Matt and Mike. We actually had a lot of fun. But yeah, so back to regularly scheduled programming. So for this is going to be a tier list video for the current trials of the mighty spirals that we have in the game, because so far we have gotten a total of 3 Omnicites. Probably everybody has burned through them already, unless you're actually being smart and you're saving them like me, because I'm actually saving the last one that I have because I want to see a certain unit get spiraled and see what they do first. So without further ado, let's get into this. So we're going to start with the top tier because this is actually a very small tier. So, obviously, frame 1 is going to be Summer Verica. If you don't know what she does, I have a video on what the hell she does, and I have about 3 videos that are pretty much worshipping the ground she walks on because she is that fucking good. So, number 2 is actually going to be Galaluca. She is a fantastic unit, and especially because we have a lot of challenging water content in the game, and we also just got a Surtur for Sinister Dominion. She is absolutely a staple on the team, to the point where some auto comps are being labeled Galilee or Galilee or whatever. So she is a fantastic unit. She also can be the main tank, especially for healerless water comps, to the point where she becomes the healer herself, because she does actually heal. I think it's off of her S1 if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check because I actually have the wiki open right here real quick. Galilee. Here we go. Galaluca. Yeah, her skill 1 heals. Okay. So yeah, she can be the healer herself. So overall, just a fantastic unit. Number 3, they're not a spiral, but if you use it, I'm not gonna blame you, and that's Grace, because Grace is a fantastic unit, and I know that there are some players who either came back or recently picked up the game during the 3rd anniversary, and I pretty much barked up the tree of get Grace or get Summer Verica, or both if you were lucky enough to get the freebie and you actually did do the paid dream summon. So I told people to use Omnicite on that. I don't blame them because they're a newer player. They don't have the resources to obviously completely mana circle all these units. So if you use it on Grace, don't blame me because she is actually a fantastic unit. So, and you want her maxed out as soon as possible. All right. So that is pretty much it for the frame 1 tier. So let's move on to the S tier. So pretty much, obviously, we're going to have Galaluca. Galaluca is a fantastic unit who makes a lot of challenging flame content a lot easier. I know, shocker, busted unit makes content easier. More news at 11. But in all seriousness, with her mana spiral, she now enables double punishers, aka she can scorch rim and she can burn the enemy. So she can do a lot of damage and assist other units who do a lot of damage with burn and scorch rim punishers as well. She also has other stuff in her kit, so let's quickly go over that because I want to give as much info as possible. Yeah. So let's see. Yep, here we go. So without Eden mode, okay, so outside of Eden mode, she'll inflict the burn, and inside of Eden mode, she'll inflict scorch rim. Fantastic. So yeah, like I said, she will enable both punishers as well, and then she'll give the Fig effect, obviously, for 20 seconds during Eden mode. It'll attack foes every pretty much 1/3 of a second, dealing 33% frame damage per hit. This automatic damage is not counted as skill damage, so yeah. So number 2, so skill 2 just pretty much does extra modifiers, and then with this one she gets both afflictions. So yeah. Okay, so another S tier is actually going to be Yukata Lathna, because with her S1 she was able to get the 50% over damage that most spirals are getting these days. You know, like Summer Verica has it, Obviously, Yukata has it. Akasha has it as well. Although I'm not a fan of her S2 because it's not a burst heal, so Lone is still a little bit better in that case. It's kind of weird that a 4-star is still better than a spiraled 5-star, but with what he can do, I'm not surprised at all. So, another S tier is actually going to be Yatun. Yatun is stupid. He will shit out a ton of damage. Like, I'm talking a ton of damage to the point where speed comps are being built around him. Let me pull him up real quick to show you, to explain what he does. Alright. Deals 4 hits of 485 shadow damage to the enemy, increases the energy level. This is used when the user is energized. A variant called Festival Dance will be used, which is extra damage and inflicts Shadow Blight. And he can heal with his S2. So yeah, he can pump out a ton of damage because he energizes himself and will, you know, inflict Shadow Blight. So you can throw on Shadow Blighted Punisher to him as well. On top of, he also gets 100% skill prep and increases the strength by 20% for 15 seconds each time the user is energized. So he's just pumping himself up as well. And that doesn't say it can't stack either, so that's just constant raising. So yeah, he will output a lot of damage. And he's a fantastic unit, plus he heals, so you always love that. Alright, another contender for S tier is actually going to be our girl Gala Alex. The reason she is up here is because while she did not get the changes I wanted, which is either skill dispels just by using it, she is still a fantastic unit all around. And she got buffs to, you know, help her with Nihility content. Plus, she is actually used for the Nihility skips for Asura with our Sen nukes, so Gal Alex is become a more flexible unit and just overall an enjoyable unit to use. So, let's move on to the A tiers. So, we have Leah. When she got announced for a Spiral, I was pretty concerned considering we already had 2 top tier Flame Spirals already in Yuden and Naveed, and they both dispelled already, granted different ways because Yuden did it in dragon form with normal attacks while Naveed just needs to use his S1, but because you want a dragon ramp in some cases, it doesn't hurt to have Yuden. So when Leah came out, I said automatically that she needed to dispel at the very least to even compete, or she needed to bring something unique to the table that the other two didn't that would even make you consider using her. So, she actually did dispel with her S1. So, she did that and inflicted burn as well, so she pretty much got what Yuden already has, is shield, dispel, and inflict burn as well. However, it's the S2 that actually kind of, you know, made me think, huh, that's actually pretty unique and I could consider running her if I had her. So her skill 2 with the Spiral summons Crimson Garden, then deals 2 hits of 820 flame damage to enemies directly ahead. Additional bonus neutral element damage will be dealt equal to 1100% of the damage taken while Crimson Garden is active. So while that buff is active, once it runs out, you will deal non-elemental, you'll deal neutral damage elements, so like the damage you do to like more Ziotti pretty much. If the user is 60% or above of their max HP, if the user's HP is above 60% of max HP when using the skill, they will take damage equal to 20% of the maximum HP. Reflected damage receives no bonuses from skill damage or other damage modifiers. Okay. So yeah, pretty much you buff yourself and any damage you take will be dealt back in neutral damage. So she actually does have a lot of unique stuff in her. Plus, she also has built-in Scorch Ram Punisher and increases her own 4-strike damage by 50%, which is actually fantastic for going against, like, Berserk Volk, who... or Berserk any Agito, but pretty much Volk. Because they take more damage from standard attacks and 4-strike, so the fact that that's increased means she'll shred that bar a little bit quicker. And she also has striking haste as well, so she is a 4 striker as well, so. And also, while Crimson Glory is active, which one is that? I think it's using Road to Glory. So using S1 will give Crimson Glory and give Strength AM. So she'll get Scorch Run as well. So she is actually a fantastic unit overall. So I might you could argue that she could be bumped up to A tier, but I mean, I'm sorry, to S tier, but A tier is pretty comfortable for her given that flame swords in general just have a lot of competition. So yeah, again, you could argue S tier, but for now she's an A tier. All right, so the next A tier is actually going to be Akasha. Yay! Only reason why I'm saying A tier for her instead of like S tier, because she does give the over damage, is that you pretty much will still use Lowen's Spiral. Or if you're doing stuff that's not gated to only wind, you'll probably actually throw in Summer Verica. That is just how dominant Summer Verica is. But I will, however, give Akasha the benefit of the doubt, because while Summer Verica and Yukata require 67 mana circles, you can get Akasha during the first week at mana circle 56, and that gives her over damage, which is fantastic because that is a shared skill. So let's just quickly go over what the hell she does. So obviously this will give 50% over damage and heals the allies. Let's go over skill 2. It will create a buff zone that lasts for 15 seconds and gradually fill the skill gauges of adventurers inside of it. So she pretty much has a built-in bunny bubble. When placed, this buff zone deals 1 hit of 900% wind damage to surrounding enemies, inflicts Storm Lash, and will restore 20% of the damage inflicted as HP to the entire team. So it does have team lifesteal and will inflict Storm Lash. So she actually is pretty solid, but if we're comparing her to the other 2 staffs that are 5 stars that have gotten over damage, the other 2 are kind of head and shoulders a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you. However, she does have fantastic utility in her kit. She also does get 100% skill prep, which is also great, and will give a team amp for strength. And then above 70% HP, it will increase the potency of recovery skills by an extra 17%. So overall, she is a fantastic unit, but if I'm going to say of how to use your Omnicite, I pretty much wouldn't. So again, this is for how you would choose to use your Omnicite, so that's why Leah and Akasha are not in S tier, even though they're really good, but you're not really going to use... I'm not going to tell you to use Omnicite on them, pretty much. So, yeah. Another A tier is actually going to be Galaluca. The reason why I say this is because he finally has dual reses. He was the only Gala unit without dual reses. And thanks to his Spiral, he got 2 reses. He needed that badly because it was weird as hell. So, with his Spiral, obviously he makes Legend Tartarus a million times easier, but he also does love to dragon as well. So you can do a lot of crazy shenanigans with dragon damage on him, and we already know that you just plug him into a critical machine and he just does all the work. And he does apply that to dragons, so Gallaudet is actually a fantastic unit if you so choose to, you know, want to work him up. But again, this is Omnicite, so he's not that higher of a tier. Okay, let's move on to tier B. We are going to start with Galaluca. The reason why Galaluca is in B tier is because she didn't get much of a change with her Spiral like we kind of were hoping she would. So let's quickly go over Galaluca. Alright. So, with this, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was just... Yeah, all that changed was a 5% extra multiplier to her skill 1. That's all she got with her skill 1. However, for skill 2, again, it's just extra modifiers in her case. 10% and then an extra 5% and then it's an extra 5 seconds. So, pretty much you're probably wondering what the hell changed. Well, with her magical modification, which is her ancient ray thingy, which is where her buff bubble comes from. This will now grant Cleo a strength amp with a maximum team amp level of 3. So she's now able to give strength amps. And then she gets potent abilities. Okay. And then this is increases the potency of her color skills by 15 seconds. So they tried to buffer up her healing a little bit because her skill 2 healed. So she really got minor buffs, like I said. So, but she's still a fantastic unit, but I would not say use your Omnicite on her at all. Like, at all. Alright, actually, Gallaudet, I'm debating putting him in A tier, but because his amps come off of his S2, and his S2 takes forever to load, or to, like, come back, it's not really worth, like, anything, because his paralysis also comes from his S2, so you pretty much have to wait for this to fully charge, and it takes a while. So he's a good unit, but because everything was literally put into his S2, and you can't control the speed at which that thing charges, it's kind of a hindrance to him. So he's very good, don't get me wrong, but his reliability and consistency just isn't there. However, he is still very good at dragon ramping, so alrighties. Next up is actually gonna be Galilee. He doesn't have one yet. We'll have to wait and see of what the hell he's getting. But he's just gonna be in the middle tier because unless they go the fucking route of original Celiera and make him worse with 70 MC, he's at least gonna be a middle tier, so that's why he's hanging in the middle right now. He's actually who I'm saving my Omnicite for, because I want to try to get an auto Iblis team, and he might be, you know, that missing piece that I need. So for now, he's just in B tier. And then lastly, actually not lastly, we got 2 more. So Kirsty is actually going to be the next one for B tier, because she actually got really good with her fucking spiral. So now, it used to be this. I'm pretty sure you can see it. If not, then I'll have to change it. Deals 1 hit of 921% when damage to enemies directly ahead. And now, with the spiral, it dispels, inflicts poison, and has a bigger, like, damage modifier. So for S2, it used to just be increased strength, and now it grants the user knockback immunity. So while it's like, oh, knockback immunity is actually very important. So trust me, it's very good. So with her spiral, she actually got a lot of good stuff to increase her damage, and she became a lot more, like, a little bit tankier, quote unquote, because of knockback immunity, but that doesn't change your damage reduction. Yeah, she actually got very, very good. So she's actually a B tier unit. Then lastly, we have Nurse Aileen, who is actually a fantastic healer for water if you don't have the likes of Jay-Z or Sandy, but if you do have Sandy, then you're pretty much going to run her over Nurse Aileen. Also, another reason why Nurse Aileen is B tier is because while she is fantastic, you have to do Gala Mars's trial, and dear God, that is one of the worst. It's like top 3 most annoying in the fucking game, next to Agony and I don't know. I think just next to Agony. They're both pains in the asses, honestly. So you're gonna have to suffer through Gala Mars's trial if you want to finish out Nurse Aileen. But let's quickly go over what Nurse Aileen does, because I actually have her, but I don't have her 67. I am 1 short, sadly. Nurse Aileen. Alright, so she gets like a slightly bigger buff. That's it. It's for an extra 5 seconds. However, this is where it gets the buff for number 2. It's much more. It is a 18% increase to recovery, removes stun, and increases our max HP by 5, which is very good. You want the maximum increase, which is fantastic. So Because of that, I would put Nurse Aileen in B tier. Before I move on, I actually don't know much about Wedding Owie, so let me quickly check what the hell she does before I put her in C or D tier, and then I get guns pointed at me. So let me just double check what the hell she does. Okay, so she inflicts sleep and stormlash at the same time with a higher chance and has 0.8% more. Okay, so she's actually pretty solid, and this one is just 5% extra recovery potency and 2% wind damage. Okay, she's actually really good because she's a double infliction, so I would actually put her in B tier as well. So yeah, fantastic unit overall, and she'll really help with Ciela. Like, dear God, might start to work on her spiral. I think I have her. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know. So, also there is Vixel. Let me double check him because I know Rainbow watches my videos and he'll probably stab me for putting a staff in a lower tier than they probably deserve. He will remove poison. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I might actually get... Ooh. And then he is... increases the potency and restores allies. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah, he's B tier. Okay. There. Please don't stab me, Rainbow. So yeah, he's actually a B tier unit for choosing him with Omnicite because he's actually fantastic. And now I would probably have someone that removes poison. I don't think I had one prior, so might work on him now. Yay! All right, moving on to C tier. We're just gonna go with Galaranzel. Galaranzel's fantastic. Do not get me wrong. But because you have the likes of units like, this is also strictly talking DPS, you have units like you have Kirsty there, you potentially have Galilee who could take over, you have Mona as another wind sword, you have T-Hope, so he's battling with a lot of other units for his slot. But if he's the only one you have, then I wouldn't blame you for using him. But to use an Omnicite, fuck no. Hell no, I would not tell you to use that. And lastly, we have Lazari. Let me double check Lazari because if I'm remembering correctly, she didn't get much and I also just don't care. So it's just extra. It's just minor extra stuff. Is that pretty much it? Is that really it? Okay, she'll give a strength amp, potent burn res, skill damage when HP is 70% or above and has 10% flame resistance. So she does the tanking stuff, but she doesn't really have much going for her in that case. So yeah, I would not tell you to use it on Lasher. Especially when she is a water axe and she has to battle Ellie Sam for the spot of a water axe. Fuck no. That just clicked in my head. Fuck no. Hell to the no, dude. Hell no. Hell freaking no. I am not going to tell you to do that. I will tell you to do it for Ellie Sand a hell of a lot more than I would tell you for Lazari. Hell no. Hell no. However, after thinking about it more, I might bump Kirsty up to S tier because she's so good. She actually got a really good buff, so she might be S tier. Again, Leah would maybe rival that, but to use an Omnicite, probably not. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. This is my own personal tier list of how I would tell you to use your Omnicites if you still have any, or you know, for the future if you decide to use, or whenever we get an Omnicite further. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, remember to leave a like on the video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything I post. And that'll be it for the video. See you all in the next one. Peace.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.